Recording in progress.
Welcome in the latest episode of the Betting the Pitch Soccer Podcast. I'm your host, Real Scourge Warner. We are running out of soccer kits, unfortunately, that I actually have in my possession as we get later and later in the Champions League and Europa League. We have Bayern München left in the Champions League. We have Sport Club Freiburg. As you can see, if you're watching Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, called Betting the Pitch, leave a 5-star review, make a comment, and I'll try to read it and blast it out to everyone on the next episode or the next time I see it. If you're on YouTube at the Real Scourge Warner, hit that subscribe button, as we've got 265 followers and we're our subscribers and we're climbing there. Also at the Real Scourge Warner on Instagram. On tonight's episode, we're going to actually work in the UEFA Conference League, UECL umbrella, Echo Charlie Lima, because we actually have some decent games to some teams that are fairly well known and followed by yours truly. And we only have 3 Europa League matches because for some reason they keep playing one on Wednesdays. So that is about all I'll do to address the start because it is late, almost 1 a.m. local time here in Dallas, Texas on the 9th of April. Going to the Wild and the Stars tomorrow. So already going to have very little sleep. But, it's time to get in there and let's find some winners. Let's start in the Europa League with the 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time window. Like to have also no early matches. We'll start with Sport Club Freiburg as I'm wearing the kit. They're a quarter goal favorite at home to Celta de Vigo. Total in this one is, had it just a second ago, promise. It is 2.25, and it's used very heavily to over. So Sport Club Freiburg have been terrible in the Bundesliga this season, but have been great in Europa League. We're, I think, undefeated, unbeaten. I think it won almost all matches in the Europa League heading into the knockout phase. German Bundesliga, they've been great at drawing, but haven't been winning much. And Celta, a really good, strong depth, well-built club that has really struggled to stay in La Liga for seasons and seasons and seasons. But, they're back, and they're playing really, really well. They've got a manager who seems to know what he's doing, and I really love their setup, honestly. So for me right now, yes, currently Freiburg are only a quarter goal favorite, but they have to win. And so Therefore, for that reason, I'm interested in Celta de Vigo as a quarter goal underdog. I'm also interested in Celta unders because they haven't conceded many goals this season. I don't know that this is it's 2.25 smaller than I made it, but I think it fits kind of where Freiburg's problems are, and that's they don't really dominate games against good teams. This competition has been fine for them, but Celta de Vigo are going to control the ball. I think it's going to be hard for Freiburg to create goals because they basically need a billion shots to score goals, and I don't think they're going to get a lot of the ball, even though they're at home in a great home field environment. To advance numbers here, Freiburg plus 107, Celta Vigo minus 137. I'm interested in the road team, especially because they have second legs. I think that's really, really important. Would love to see Freiburg move to a favorite. I don't think that'll happen before kickoff on Thursday. We'll move next to FC Porto, hosting Nottingham Forest. Porto in a resurgence from where the club had been in recent seasons. I'm proud of where they've gotten, though they certainly aren't in Champions League anymore. But good run here. Maybe they will be based on how they qualify in Portugal as well. Porto, a quarter goal favorite right now with all the juice on the home team. Total in this one is 2, and it's juiced a little bit more, 4 cents more to over. It is a tiny total, especially because these two teams score goals. I am not an over player as a longtime Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/Real_Warner. Joe Dollar will sell you. I bet unders and underdogs. However, this total at 2 is really small. Would love to see 1 3/4, but those totals aren't really out there much in these type of competitions and would certainly give me some pause. I want to see, because Porto has been scoring goals this season. Yes, they're probably going to play more defensively or more conservatively against an English Premier League club with that big budget, but I'm not really so concerned about that. I think I like the home team. Not really interested in Nottingham Forest. Don't really like what they do managerial-wise and how they get rid of managers like Sean Dyche, who I think are great. And I generally want to play unders, but I don't trust Vitor Pereira whatsoever. So believe it or not, I'll put an over on my list. There you go, Joe Dollar. Can't say I expected that, but at 2, it's really, really small. I do want to check lineups to see why that's the case. Porto right now, to advance minus 125, Nottingham Forest minus 105. If we get some plus money on Nottingham Forest, I'll be a little bit more interested just because they get the second leg at home and basically just have to go on the road and get a result. Don't even need to win, but we'll see as we don't have that yet. Last on the Europa League portion of the show, I'll do an ultimate best bet, picking one of my favorite bets from the Europa League, one from the Europa Conference League, And for this third matchup on the list, let's go Bologna, quarter goal underdogs at home to Aston Villa. And if you're not with me very often, you know the late night with the real Discord, you want to get some yawns. So we're here. Total in this one is 2.25, just very heavily to over. Probably see this one climbing. Bologna haven't really been an under team, I got to say. They've been scoring more goals than, I guess they qualified for Europa League, so we should believe in them for that. But they had a huge fixture overload, including the Supercoppa Italiana that took place in some oil-rich country. And they really kind of struggled to stabilize after that. Well, they're back. They've been playing a lot better. They knocked out Roma in all Serie A sweet round of 16 matchup. So I like where they are right now at this point. I believe in what their club has done. I love the depth they've built. And they're hosting they're hosting an Aston Villa side who have not been good for after looking like a potential English Premier League title contender. They've kind of sunk from there. But at this point, I'm a believer in Bologna as a home underdog. So I like that a lot. The side is very interesting to me at a quarter of a goal underdogs. And I do like the total. I think Aston Villa is really known and best at defending, which we'll see, I guess, how well they do that, because it hasn't really been the same for them. But I still expect Unai Emery to go that route, to play defensively, and that doesn't really fit a road favorite either. So I lean to the under 2.25. Also like the plus 1/4 on the home underdogs. So I'll put those as on my list. To advance number, Bologna plus 233, Aston Villa minus 317. I don't like Bologna that much to want to play them, having to go to Birmingham and having to fight an English Premier League crowd for an entire second leg. But I do like them the first leg, and I think you could do a lot worse in playing or getting involved and all that. So for the ultimate best bet portion of the show, that's what I'm going to put on Instagram. Make sure you check that out as we got out there with Champions League this week. For this one, let's do, oh my God, watching baseball over the shoulder while just everyone's making errors and driving me absolutely insane. Unders, I mean, they lose in just horrible fashion. We knew that's how it went, but injured starting pitchers in the first inning, that doesn't go great. Just errors after errors after errors that then score runs. Just shoot me in the face at this point. But regardless, that threw me off for a very quick second. For the Europa League best bet, I'm going Bologna, Aston Villa, under 2.25 goals. I think that's probably a low-scoring game, and I like the home underdog as well there, and I like that they correlate. So there we are. There's that. Now we'll go to the Europa Conference League. Don't think we've talked it on the Betting Pitch podcast channel this season, but might as well, with only 3 games to talk about on the other one. So might as well give everyone a bang for their buck, and there's certainly money to be made here. We'll start with Rayo Vallecano hosting IAK Athens. IAK Athens, better way to say it, but I feel like they pronounce it IEK. Anyway, Rayo is currently from La Liga, the really defensive side. Don't know that they're that strong, but they're half a goal favorite at home despite playing really defensively. Total in this one is 2.25, just a little bit slightly more to over. And AEK Athens have been competitive in this competition. They've done, I think, more than anyone would expect, because we pretty much have top 5 European soccer league teams in the remainder of the quarterfinals in the Europa Conference League. UEFA Europa Conference League, UECL. For a total at 2.25, I think any Rayo Vallecano just aren't a goal-scoring team. They are a defensive brand. IK Athens, I mean, they're half a goal underdog. That shows a fair amount of respect for a team that's going into a Spanish La Liga. Madrid, though it's a suburb or part of the city, there's a lot of respect there, and I like that idea. So 11:45 start. I'm interested in the under. 2 advanced lines. Rayo minus 145 at home, plus 113 on IK Athens. I mean, that's interesting because they got the second leg at home. I think you can make worse bets out there. I'll move to the big window of 2:00 matches. We got 3 more left to go. Don't know why they didn't play Wednesday. Just one of the Europa League matches had to play on a Champions League day. The odds are back. We'll go to Mainz 05 of the German Bundesliga, hosting RCA Racing Club Strasbourg Alsace. They are currently Mainz a quarter goal favorite at home. All the juice on the home team. Total in this one is 2.5. So Mainz hired the most defensive manager in German Bundesliga history, who made me a ton of money at Union Berlin. I really have missed him for a long time. I'm not sure that I've seen the same defensive effort ability with Mines. They were a very energetic club, and that's how they got to the Europa Conference League, then been fighting relegation in German Bundesliga all season because they're just not equipped to play 2 matches in a week. Lost some studs, sold some players, and we've now seen how that goes. They usually have a good season and then sack their manager, so it's not that big of a surprise, but they brought in one of the best. I don't know that I love Ostfischa as a home favorite or just a favorite in general. He plays a defensive brand, though Mines need to win here because they need to advance, and the first leg is where you have to do your damage wherever you have your home leg, and that's what they have here. From a Strasbourg perspective, also have a very conservative manager as well. And I love when both managers point the same direction. So for me, under 2.5 looks very interesting in that 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time window. So I'm interested there. And I guess I lean to Strasbourg as a road underdog, though I'd love to see this climb to half a goal because I think would be a lot more value there. 2 advanced numbers. Mines are minus 103 to a minus 127 on Strasbourg because they have the second leg at home. I'll be waiting to see that flip. I doubt it will before kickoff. Move next, Crystal Palace. They are hosting Fiorentina. Currently, Palace a 3-quarter goal favorite. All the juice on the home team, potentially climbing to a full goal underdog, which does interest me, though Fiorentina have been horrible this season. They've also been fighting relegation, which was completely unexpected. Total was 2.5, just a little bit more to under by 2 cents. If you're looking for good, low-juiced soccer lines, hit me up at the Real Discord Warner across any social media platform. I get your referral code. Now for this matchup, it's really tough backing Fiorentina going on the road to Crystal Palace. Palace have sold off basically every talented player they've had. They've built and brought some in, but not the same. Managers leaving end of season, kind of dead man walking over there, lame duck, whatever you want to call it. So I'm fairly interested in the road underdog here, especially as it climbs and gets bigger to that +1. I'll be waiting for that. Total I lean under. Fiorentina haven't really been playing unders this season, probably because their defense is bad. They want to score goals. I don't know that they have enough goal scoring, which also means and explains why they've been so poor. I think Crystal Palace, though, don't deserve to be this type of favorite, and I'll lean to under in that matchup. To advance is minus 218 on Crystal Palace at home in the first leg. Fiorentina plus 166. I do like that with the second leg at home. I'm fairly concerned they're going to be an underdog on both legs of this Europa Conference League journey, and I don't really know that I want to fight or swim upstream in both legs of the matchup. The last one, we'll go to Shakhtar Donetsk hosting AZ Alkmaar. Shakhtar Donetsk of the Ukraine League, Ukrainian Super League, I believe. They don't have any sort of home field advantage, so as a favorite, that makes little sense. Therefore, I'm automatically leaning to AZ Alkmaar at plus 1/4 goal. All the juice right now. It's large. I did, I guess, give Shakhtar Donetsk some respect, but with a number, I probably shouldn't have. But I guess they're in name only as the home team or home favorite. So there's that. Total in this one is 2.5. It's just slightly more to over. I don't know that I have much of a feel for the total, but I do want to bet against Shakhtar Donetsk. They're a good team that builds their talent for sure, and build up from especially Ukrainian league that is fighting a war like all over the place. But for me, I think AZ Alkmaar are worth a look, especially in the Dutch Eredivisie. Yes, they're a little bit weaker away from home, but they are still pretty talented, a growing bunch, and I like them as an underdog on a non-road game, neutral field that I feel like just constantly believes in the Ukrainians getting some support, which I just don't know that they have a lot of that, to be honest. So to advance number, Shakhtar Donetsk plus 108. Currently AZ Alkmaar minus 138. I would love to see AZ Alkmaar as an underdog, taking into account that they have a home match and a neutral one, but they don't have that yet. So I'll be waiting to see that. And it's time now for the ultimate best bet. We did wrap up a really good college basketball season. Big East Ben and I, 17-7. I think after we both lost double best bet on the national championship. Not great when you only have one game to pick, but literally a couple free throws at the end could have made us our money, or at least got us a push, but weren't so lucky. And Roddy Gale with a smart play to just throw the basketball down the court instead of taking the foul, though they were up 6 points. There's no real danger, but anyway, good for the underdog bettors that somehow got a bang 3 from solo ball on UConn and survived that way. Major League Baseball, trying to get at A. Brooks back on the Betting Pitch Podcast Network. If you hit him up on Twitter and just tell him how much you miss him, maybe that might get him on and recording more. And then, of course, What I Bet coming out on the pregame.com podcast network. Haven't gotten one of those episodes out this week, but we'll be back. And Major League Baseball is every day until October. So look forward to that and probably finding some stuff on the Betting Pitch Podcast Network for that sport as well, because it fits like literally exactly in the name. So let's go for an ultimate best bet for the Europa Conference League. Right now it's AZ Alkmaar, quarter goal underdog, because they are not playing on the road. And I think that makes it the easiest type of setup for that one. And then ultimate best bet time from the Europa League. I liked Bologna under 2.25 goals hosting Aston Villa. From the Europa Conference League, as I just said, I like AZ Alkmaar, quarter goal underdog. But for the ultimate best bet on this episode, let's go with Aston Villa, Bologna under 2.25 goals. Expect a pretty low scoring, tight first leg. Aston Villa certainly want to win it at home. We'll see if that ends up happening. But for right now, that's where I'm going for ultimate best bet on this episode. We'll see you in the next one. Likely for the big slate of soccer this weekend across the top 5 European soccer leagues. Look forward to that. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Recording stopped.